Good morning. It is Friday. It is Friday. It is Friday. Before I get started, I just want to give a big shout out to those of you who work in corporate America. Kudos to you. Good morning, LinkedIn. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, Instagram. I need to shout out the folks who work in corporate America and get up and do this every single day, 365. You are, in my book, MVPs because I cannot. Oh, let me get my microphone over here. Hello, how about that? All right. All right. I was saying good morning, and I was giving a shout out to those who work in corporate America because y'all are real. Like how y'all do this every day. 360 or 50 whatever days because you have weekends off. My hat goes off to you. And I guess some people could say the same about entrepreneurship too, right? Good morning. That's not meant for everyone, right? Okay. So anyway, hi, we are on day 23 of the Sensual Abundance plan. It's the 40-day prosperity plan from this book, the Abundance book, written by John Randolph Price, this little book right here. If you don't know who I am, my name is Devi Maisha. I am the Sensual Energy Alchemist. I am a master life coach, a sacred sexuality teacher, and my business, Sensual Energy Alchemy, LLC, reconnects Black women to their freedom, their power, and their sovereignty through their sensuality and their pleasure. And good morning, we are on day 23, which means we're on statement 3. And I honestly can't, I just floored me that this is the third time we're doing the statements. Like we only have one more go round of the statements. So that's like, it's a little wild to me. It's like the time goes by slow, but then it goes by really fast. So statement 3 says, I am conscious of the inner presence as my lavish abundance. I am conscious of the constant activity of this divine mind of infinite prosperity. Therefore, my consciousness is filled with the light of truth. I am conscious of the inner presence as my lavish abundance. I am conscious of the constant activity of this mind of infinite prosperity. Therefore, my consciousness is filled with the light of truth. And appropriate that today, we're going to talk about your gifts, not GIFs, because those are fun too, but like your GIFTSs. Maybe a little bit too early for sparkling water. Y'all see what I'm saying, right? Y'all see, am I doing product placement? I'm not getting paid. See me with my sparkling water. Your gifts. So if you think about what statement 3 says, that you are conscious of the inner presence as your lavish abundance, and you are conscious of the constant activity of this mind of infinite prosperity, that actually can go along with the idea. Hi, good morning. That actually can go along with the idea of you having of your gifts. And I think a lot of us take our gifts for granted, or we think that they are trivial because they're not something that we presume that they need to be grandiose, right? You know, Michael Jordan had a gift on the basketball court. A lot of people aren't going to reach that type of performance level, right? Maybe LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. And people are like, well, that's a gift. And so then we think, I don't really have a gift like that. Whitney Houston, for all her flaws, I mean, her voice was a gift. Prince was a gift. Man taught himself how many instruments. And so we think of those things and we go, well, I don't have any of that, so my gifts must not be relevant. It is your ability to listen to others, and empathize with them is a gift. Your ability to make people smile in moments, and you're the person that's always able to do that, is a gift. Your smile is a gift. Your time, your energy. The gifts that you have inside of you are these expressions of this constant divine mind. When you think about, and this is what you're going to journal about, when you think about who you naturally are, when you're not trying to be anything else or impress anyone, when you think about what lights you up and brings you joy, your baking could be a gift. You're like, yeah, I only do that for, the holidays, but when I do, my family's face lights up. That's a gift. It's something that you can give to others that doesn't tax your energy or, have you feeling depleted. But if anything, it might bring you extra joy. And this is part of the constant divine mind that is living in you. Is embedded in these gifts. And sometimes in these gifts are ways for you to create a business. Sometimes not. Every gift you have doesn't need to be turned into something you monetize. Every hobby you have doesn't have to be turned into something that's a side hustle. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. There was a conversation this morning, and I'm actually set up the first weekly live stream within the Sensual Oasis for Black women. I will be doing weekly live stream teachings in there. And one of the first teachings I'm going to do is on sexual energy and how it can be healing and how it can be harmful. And the question was around healers and their energy, right? It's a big deal about healers and their gifts. First of all, I believe because we are all part of the divine mind, that we all have abilities. It's kind of like, oh my gosh, Divergent. I kind of think of humanity like Divergent. And if you haven't seen that movie, it's based on a book. And basically, there's a war and humanity is like lost. And what they decide to do, at least outside of Chicago, those who survived, in order to survive, is they split everyone up into these 5 factions. You've got your military, agriculture, the scientific folk, and there are 2 more, but I forget them. And you take this test when you're like a teenager, and it tells you what your aptitude is and which faction you're going to go to, right? Maybe we just have our own universal ways of determining our faction, but I believe that we all have natural innate gifts. So if you let's think about the clairs for a moment: clairvoyant, clairsentient, claircognizant, clairaudient. There's one for smell. I have forgotten right now, but let's go with those. Right? People think about clairvoyance, the ability to see beyond. Everybody wants that one. Everybody wants to feel special that way. Everybody doesn't have that naturally. Doesn't mean you cannot develop that gift. You can, but some people have it naturally. Then you have people who are clairaudient. They can hear things. It sounds like spirit is speaking to them, or they hear the voices of those who have passed on, or they hear very clearly, like you're looking at me right now. That's clairaudient. Some people have that gift naturally. Others need to take work to do it. I am clairsentient and claircognizant. I am not clairvoyant. I feel energy, and then I have to find ways to put it into words because it doesn't come in English. And I have a knowing of things. But everybody can work on that gift. Some of us, it's our natural gift. Some of us, it needs to be worked on. So I believe that we all have some kind of gift here. Like you're not just here. You are here to just breathe air, and there's something of your essence and your presence that is here to contribute in some way, not through your work and your career and your job. That's nice too. And maybe that coincides. Maybe that meshes together, which is the goal, I think, for a lot of people. And that just flew out of my head. The thing that I thought I was going to say next, like completely left my brain. That's crazy. I guess it didn't need to be said. Okay, now it's coming back. When you think of yourself as an expression of the divine mind, it's as though this divine essence wants to experience this life through your eyes, through your body, through your presence here in this world. And as such, there are gifts that you have. Some are very artistic. And that could mean anything from drawing to photography to singing to dance. Some it's mathematical. Some it's kinesthetic with the body. We all have different gifts. And I want you to start to look at what you consider to be your gifts. Now, I'll tie this back into the sexual energy piece because I'm going to talk about this more inside of my membership group. And I'll put the link up for those who want to join later. It's early in the morning, so I'm trying to still wrap my brain together. I don't think my frontal lobe is it's not fully on just yet, which is why, again, kudos to those of you who do corporate America every day. I can see why you need the coffee. When it comes to healers or healing as a gift, and I started off saying this before, I believe we all have the capacity to heal. That's where I was going before the divergent piece. We all have the capacity to assist others in healing. It's just how we do it. And sometimes we think that, if you've seen videos of healers waving their hands over people and making their bodies do all kinds of things, and you're like, oh, I can't do that. That's not my gift. Because that's not your gift. It doesn't mean that you're not a healer. Right? And I'm using this word healer really loosely. I don't call myself a healer. I am facilitating your healing. Because for me to call myself a healer means I somehow do something to you. And from my perspective, what I'm doing is providing a pathway for you to right yourself. I'm providing a doorway for you because everything is already in you. You're part of this divine mind. I don't need to give you anything. Maybe my energy, my time to help snap something, to help click something on. But your DNA and your connection to the divine mind knows how to rework itself. So I am a facilitator, but I personally don't call myself a healer, even with body work. So when we talk about the healing energy, and I'll say this briefly, and like I said, I'm gonna go in depth, but because it was brought up this morning, and I know some of you on here follow some of this stuff or came to me or found me because of some of this. Your sexual energy can absolutely be healing energy. And it's would most likely be true that maybe people who call themselves healers have balanced that energy because that's creative energy. I want us to get out of the mindset of thinking about intercourse. That is a way to experience sexual energy. But sexual energy is really the energy of creation. It's the energy of bringing something out of the ethers and into the physical. So everyone who has a high amount of sexual energy doesn't necessarily know how to facilitate that properly. There are people with high levels of sexual energy for a lot of different reasons. It doesn't necessarily make them a good healer, because she sent me something this morning about how people with high sexual energy make good healers, and that's why healers are, the two don't necessarily go together. And if you're watching this, you're most likely in the sphere of people somehow, or see this, that those two may go together, and that's why I wanted to bring it up. But I'm going to teach more about this inside of the Oasis. But your individual gifts, that's what I want you to look at this morning, or this afternoon, or this evening, whenever you watch this live stream. What are your gifts? And don't poo-poo the small thing. Don't say, Terry, who's often on here, Terry's gift is humor and laughter. I've known Terry for over 10 years. Terry posts funny memes on her Facebook page. That is what she does. Sundays are hilarious. She finds some way to make Christianity look like I don't know what. She finds the most offensive, craziest memes to post, but it's like the Sunday funnies. And so Terry's gift is bringing joy to people. If you were on the call Wednesday, you saw that. She just brings joy. Hey, Terry, when you watch this later, that's a gift. That's a gift. And it's not doing anything. So I really want you to expand this idea of what you think your gifts are, what you think you offer to others. You may find that there are things that you do, and you can ask other people. I did sometime last year, I think. Well, I asked them something about my positive and negative traits. And I was really surprised by what folks said in the affirmative. You can ask others, what do they feel your gifts are? And I don't want you to use that as the metric, like, oh, that's what they said, those are my gifts. But I want you to ask, because sometimes we don't see what our gifts are. And if you talk to 10 people and they all kind of say the same thing, that might be something for you to look at and go, I never really knew that about myself. I think we all need to know that. Your gift does not have to be the voice of Whitney Houston. That was hers to carry. Your gift could be like Terry's. It is to post memes and make people laugh. Your gift could be the way you treat customers at your job, the way you're able to stay calm under pressure, not because of some strange trauma response, but literally you're just able to stay calm under pressure. Your gift could be your touch. You could hug someone and it all melts away. That's a gift. And it doesn't have to be like, we make this like The Incredibles, right? We make this like it has to be mine. I'm the only one with it. No, there could be there's 8 billion people on the planet, y'all. Millions of people have the gift of touch, but no one has the gift of touch like you do. Millions of people bake really well, but no one does it like you do. You are unique in your gift. You are unique in your expression of the divine. So you're not looking for something that nobody else can do. You don't even want to focus on what anybody else can do. You're looking for the thing that when people are in your presence, this is what they feel. This is what you bring. This is the vibration. It might be something you do. It might be the way you make them feel. So that's what I want you to do today. First is ask 5 to 10 people, what do they think your gifts are? Because you might be stuck. You might be like, I don't know. I'm sure I have some. So ask others, what do you think my gifts are? And write them out. And I also want you to write out, what do you think your gifts are? As a matter of fact, maybe you do yours first, unless you're really stuck. Do yours first and then ask others and see where they match or intertwine, see where they've reminded you of something that you didn't recognize and know about yourself. You have gifts. You are gifted. One of the things looking back, I disliked about being in the gifted and talented program is that it gave me a sense of superiority that I had to spend decades chopping down. And there's still pieces of it in there. I don't know if it's ever going to go away. My parents could be a little bit arrogant too, so that you might hear that coming out of my mouth. Nothing, I might not solve that riddle this lifetime, and it's all right. But one of the things that it did for me, and I'm not saying whether it should, that's a whole other debate whether or not those programs should exist. But what I can say for me is it gave this idea like, oh, I'm gifted and other people aren't. Because at 6, 7, 8 years old, no one sat me down to explain any of that to me. So the assumption must be I'm in the gifted and talented program. I must be gifted and talented. And the kids in the regular classes must not be. That is so false. And one of the reasons why I never put my children in those programs, and they're doing just fine. That is so false. Everyone has gifts. Everyone is talented in some way. And we need to stop looking at it like it needs to be this, residency in Vegas or something. It's not about that. But your gift is what's needed. It's the way the divine wants to express that part of itself through you. So statement 3, I am conscious of the inner presence as my lavish abundance. I am conscious of the constant activity of this mind of infinite prosperity. Therefore, my consciousness is filled with the light of truth. I'll read it one more time. I am conscious of the inner presence as my lavish abundance. I am conscious of the constant activity of this mind of infinite prosperity. Therefore, my consciousness is filled with the light of truth. Write down what you believe your gifts to be, from the woo-woo to the practical, from the I am clear cognizant to the I bake rolls that everyone can't wait to have gift. Right? Your talents, any of these things. I don't want to get rigid with it. I want you to see how the divine expresses itself through you. And then also ask others. And if you're stuck, ask others and see what it is that they say about your gifts as well. You might be very surprised the way others see you. Okay? If you're in the Facebook group, I would love to hear what if you're in a Facebook group, I would love to hear what you come up with. As always, a couple of quick announcements. Again, shout out to those of you who do corporate America. I cannot. I do this for a couple of months, and I am not meant for the corporate world. If y'all knew, the longest I ever worked for someone in my entire adult life was 4 years. 4 years at one employer. In my 30 years of adulting, if you count from 20, 4 years is the longest. I can't. Don't even ask me to be to work at 9. Okay, it's not happening. 10 o'clock feels like a normal to me. I'm sorry. I'm just saying that as I'm dressed and it is 8:30. Oh no, this is not my lifestyle. All right. So as I said before, that's not the one I want to put up there. Here's where you can join the Sensual Oasis for Black women. I will be teaching more on the healing power of sexual energy in there. I will be doing that in February, once this is all wrapped up, because I don't want to stretch myself all thin. So once this is all wrapped up, I will start doing the teachings in there. There's still plenty for you to go through. That doesn't mean I won't pop in there for live streams, but the actual weekly teachings will be on Wednesdays, most likely in the morning because my schedule. But I'll be teaching on the healing power of sexual energy and also when it is not so healing. So I'll go more in depth there. Right now, you can join the Sensual Oasis for $25 a month before January, if you join before February 1st. And it'll be $25 a month for you moving forward. If you decide to wait till February 1st, that's perfectly fine. I still want you in there, but the price goes up to the regular price of $97 a month. And you will get the weekly live streams, special events, retreats and workshops that I am in the process of planning, special guest speakers and classes on everything from wealth building to human design to womb cleansing, womb health. I want to bring in other guest speakers for you to experience. So that's all covered in your membership. So good morning. So that's the Sensual Oasis for Black women. Black coffee, honey, and grits. As you know, if you've been watching, we are having our next brunch May 5th. It'll be in New York City. Very excited for that one. It's going to be I think that's, they're all fun, but I just feel like that's going to be a fun one because it's my home space, my home spot. Our brunches do sell out. They are open to men as well as women. So we invite you to get on our mailing list so we can let you know as we continue planning where it's going to be and when you can begin to purchase your ticket. Y'all swag bags be banging though. Let me just say that right there. Okay, so I feel like people come for the swag bags at this point. And that's fine. Come on for the swag bags and the good food. We pick some good spots. And then Black Tantra Group, we are doing our retreat. It is the Quantum Sexuality Retreat. There are 4 teachers that you will have access to from April 25th through the 28th. We have spaces for singles inside the house. And then we have a hotel nearby for couples and singles overflow. The deposit for singles is $350. The deposit for couples is $500. You have 3 more days to get 10% off of your deposit by using the code BTG. That is Black Tantra Group BTG 2024. And our retreats always sell out. We're hoping that we can have more folks because we're using the hotel. And we already know the house is going to sell out. And what you'll be learning, a few things that are on the website. I'm just going to read them. Science of Sacred Union for Couples, Wealth Frequency, Male Anatomy Cultivation Practices, Female Anatomy Cultivation Practices, the erotic shadow work, the art of sex magic, and energetic foreplay techniques. So we are going to be going through that. It is myself, Raziki, Ricardo, and Everett. We will all be teaching, so you will have access to 4 teachers over the 3 days. 3 days that we will be doing that retreat. So that is it for now. I think the only other thing I want to say is if you would like to set up a session with me, you have 2 options. You can set up a session with me, a complimentary session. It is your introduction to pleasure call, and you can set that up with me. That's about 45 minutes, although I ask you to block off 60 just in case. There's a questionnaire that you will fill out, and I would love to just get to know you and what's going on in your life in terms of pleasure or lack thereof. And then there's the pleasure mapping session that you can set up for me. And that's roughly 90 minutes. And that's where we really sit down and we kind of map out some pleasure for you and what that looks like in your life and some things that you can do. We come up with real solutions for what is happening in your life. I am going to post a link soon to my calendar because I am on a mission to speak with at least 1,000 Black women this year. So I am going to put up a Calendly link for just a 15-minute call to get your ideas on what it means to, what it would mean for you to have pleasure in your life while you're also balancing movement through your career, while you're also balancing how you're flowing through life. And I really want to understand what's important to you and what you need, what kind of support you need in order to bring more pleasure into your life as you go through corporate America, as you go through your education process. I really want to understand what it is that you need. It helps me. You'll be helping me, and we get a chance to chat. And those will be short 15-minute conversations. And I'll put that link up in my Calendly sometime today. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here this morning. I appreciate you all joining from across the social media platforms. The fire engine is letting me know it is time for me to get out of here so I can get to the office. I will see you all back here tomorrow at, hold on. I almost have to check my calendar daily now. Tomorrow is Saturday. I will see you all back here tomorrow at 9. I'll see you back here tomorrow at 9. All right. Thanks all and have a wonderful Friday. It's Venus Day. Go love somebody. Bye, everyone.